Sega series that I always thought was most interesting was the NiGHTS series. Now, due to me being born in the mid-2000s, I didn't grow up with or even know who NiGHTS was. All I knew was that they were the flag bearer in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, and also playable alongside Reala in the sequel Transformed. Hell, pretty much all of my knowledge from the NiGHTS series was what was shown in Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. All I knew was NiGHTS and Reala could shapeshift, the game was a drug trip, and Reala was my main, therefore he was the GOAT. However, I was always interested in learning more about them. So, in December of 2023, I bought the re-release of the first game on Steam, which was then delisted a year later, but even then, I never got around to playing it until it was announced that NiGHTS was returning as a racer in Sonic Racing CrossWorlds. So, seeing a character I slightly enjoy and have an appreciation for, despite not knowing a single thing about them or their series, I decided to finally step down and play through the first NiGHTS game. The first game of Sega's Christmas mascot and Sonic's long-forgotten sibling. This is my review of NiGHTS Into Dreams, originally released on the Sega Saturn in 1996. Trying to describe the gameplay of NiGHTS Into Dreams is very difficult. It's a flying game, but it's a 2.5D flying game, so you don't really have full control to explore these trippy 3D worlds. It's kinda like a momentum platformer, but without any actual platforms, at most land for you to bounce off of. It's like a racing game, but only in terminology due to the game calling each level in the world a lap. It's best described as a NiGHTS game. Like, imagine if Sonic could fly, and that's basically NiGHTS. You twirl and spin through the air like a bullet and have to collect 20 orbs on each lap of the world, and then ram into these squid-like machines called idea captures. Upon depositing 20 orbs, or chips as they're called, you then enter the bonus lap and have to collect as many points as possible while returning back to the start as fast as possible. The more points and faster you beat a lap, the more points you get. You get 2 minutes per each lap, however taking any damage whatsoever removes 5 seconds and stuns you for 1 second, so it's actually a 6-second time loss. Upon the timer hitting 0, you are forced to go back to the beginning to start the next lap. Upon beating all 4 laps, it gives you a final score for the level, but that's not it, because afterwards, you have to do a multiplier bonus round, the NiGHTMare boss fight. Each level has its own unique NiGHTMare boss fight, and the faster you kill them, the more of a point bonus you'll get. If you run out of time during the boss fight, then you lose the whole stage and have to start all over from the very beginning. Now, despite how convoluted the gameplay is, there is no punchline. First-time players will be very confused, but basically, get 20 blue balls, deposit them, return to the beginning fast, win. That's it. Now, movement and physics-wise, this game's like crack. It's like Sonic, allowing you to bullet around levels and bounce off walls and demolish enemies and finish full laps in only about 30 or 60 seconds or so. The Drill Dash, NiGHTS' main offensive ability, is insanely fun to use. You just launch forward and demolish everything in your way. However, the downside is you have to manage your usage. Too much, and you run out of it. The only way to get the Drill Dash back is by flying through these orange rings which replenish the bar. The Drill Dash is NiGHTS' single-handedly most important ability, as it is required for just about everything, on top of being fun to use, so you will end up mastering it, using it by the time you beat the game. All that being said though, even with the Drill Dash, some boss fights are fun, some are bullshit, because remember, this is a 1996 arcade-style game. It is designed to make you fail, restart, and grind for those high scores, but it does it insanely well. I will say that it is something I do have an issue with, though, is sometimes the unfairness of some level parts. Stick Canyon, which I will get to in a minute, is a prime example of a level with the worst design philosophy in the game. Sections that trap you in them, limiting your movement, obstacles coming off screen, long laps that make any mistake severely costly, the works. But levels like Soft Museum are insanely fun and well made and have unique gimmicks that make them fun to revisit. Really, it just depends what level gimmick you like the most and which NiGHTMare you find the funnest to fight. After that, just grind that level out, and that's where the true fun of NiGHTS Into Dreams comes into play. And while I know this isn't part of the gameplay, I just want to mention that this game has an insanely well-made OST. It perfectly fits every level well. The NiGHTMare bosses have great and memorable themes, with my personal favorite being Stick Canyon's NiGHTMare boss, funnily enough, Reala's theme. So what is the general lore for NiGHTS Into Dreams? Well, an evil wizard guy named Wise Man the Wicked wants to take over the dream world, so he creates nightmares and has them attack humans in their dreams to steal their idea energy. Once he has enough, he can manifest into the real world where he won't be able to be stopped. NiGHTS is a nightmarian who rebels and tries to encourage the humans, a boy named Elliot and a girl named Clarisse, to have courage, the one idea that nightmares can't harvest, and defeat Wise Man. How do you learn about this? The how to play menu and nowhere in the game, which I understand that in-game lore is a recent gaming thing, and lore used to just be in the manual, or even magazines, but like, I don't know, I still think it's a little annoying to have it be hidden away like this, as basic as it is. Now, how do I feel about the individual levels for the game? Starting with Clarisse's levels first, because I played her side first, Spring Valley is a beautiful grassy field level. Overly simple and a bit repetitive on repeat tries, especially when the first lap not having 20 chips, so you have to circle around just to complete it. Overall, a fine level, and Gilwing is a repetitive boss fight that's one of the most fun challenges, trying to insta-kill him using a parry loop, which is easy with practice but is more difficult said than done. And this level is the only one in Christmas Nights into Dreams, which, yes, is a Christmas-themed demo for the game, hence why NiGHTS has become Sega's Christmas mascot. Mystic Forest is probably my favorite OST out of all the levels in the game, alongside a killer aesthetic. The level is fine, mainly introducing you to more game mechanics like the platforms you can smash through in spike rings. Also has the killer top-down section, which is probably the best forced perspective section in any of the levels. However, Mystic Forest's biggest downside is the boss fight. Gulpo is the worst boss in the game, not due to difficulty, but due to the inherent wonkiness of him. See, he spawns these red fish guys, and when you slide into them, they launch you through the water like a cannon. If you hit Gulpo, then you hurt him. Rinse and repeat about 5 or 6 times. The issue is that it is so difficult to line up your attack with the perspective you're at, and even worse, sometimes if you do hit him, the game decides that you actually missed his hitbox. Genuinely awful boss fight. Soft Museum is probably my favorite level in the whole game. The gimmick here is that the entire floor is bouncy, allowing you to ricochet around at insane speeds. Sure, it's a bit confusing with some stuff like the mirrors or gliding section, but for the most part, it's a pretty fun level and insanely well designed all around. Hell, even Jackal, the boss fight for this level, is not my favorite, but even he isn't bad enough to weigh down the level. The entire gimmick with Jackal is he'll throw cards at you, so you have to attack his cape off and basically play keep away and prevent him from getting his cape back. Attacking you 5 or so times while he has his cape off will be enough to beat him. Before I tackle the final level, I want to go over the levels of Elliot the boy first. Splash Garden is Elliot's first level, and it's alright. It's a beach-themed version of Spring Valley, which is prettier, I'll say that. But overall, it's just not as interesting of a location. Afterwards, your boss fight for this level is this big ball girl with 2 circles for boobs. This is Puffy. Probably the most infamous character in the game due to her being a circle with arms ahead and 2 gigantic circles on her chest. Whatever they were cooking in 1996 must have been some good shit, because like, who'd have thought this was at all appropriate to be put in a kid's game? Like, I don't have an issue with characters with more mature features and not as mature media. Hell, I think Sonic Adventure 2 Rouge the Bat is a prime example of that type of character done well. But Puffy's design is not only just weird, but the tits just feel awfully forced on, and I don't know, I just get uncomfortable looking at her. Regardless, the fight is easy, just drill into her and then bounce her into the wall a few times and win. Frozen Belle is a lot more memorable and doesn't have a weird boss fight. It's a snow level, and while I do enjoy this level's forced perspective section, it still feels a bit clunky, especially going into and out of it. Overall, this level is just fine, nothing I care about too much. The boss fight, Claws, is one of the most straightforward ones in the whole game. Drill dash into the mice that he lights on fire until they're all destroyed and then hit him once to win the fight. It's a simple fight that can be stormed through very quickly. Stick Canyon, oh boy. This level's theme is desert, and my god, this one sucks. The gimmicks are too much and annoying as hell. This lap's gimmick involves everything sticking to you. This lap's gimmick involves being held in place by these magnets. This one has you be stuck to these flytrap grate thingies. The final lap has objects that fall and hit you off screen. It also takes almost 2 minutes to finish, meaning if you get hit a few times, the final lap is unbeatable. Especially because it ends with the flytrap section, which is not only slow, but forced perspective, so you can't get out of it. Well, at least the boss can't be that bad, right?
Well, it's not nice.
It's Reala, my favorite character before playing the game and Knight's arch rival. I hope his fight is incredible, and he's already dead. Big Canyon's slap in the face is the fact that Reala shows up, has the only piece of spoken dialogue in the game, has a banger boss theme, and gets killed in 3 hits from paraloops. You can beat him in 20 seconds. He is a gigantic pushover, a horrible pushover, that if the sequel game never got made, Reala would remain the biggest fraud that Sega ever made. Well, besides Infinite. The final level of the game for both sides is Twin Seeds, based on the town that Elliot and Clarisse live in-game. This level is actually locked and can only be unlocked by getting a C rank or higher on every level before it in the game. The reason I saved this for last is because it is the exact same level for both kids. The only difference is who you see flying around at the end. NiGHTS is unable to be reached due to Wise Man launching the kids away, so they decide to jump off this cliff to their death, only for their courage to be so strong they can fly. However, the timer says 180 seconds, or 3 minutes. You are expected and are required to beat all the 4 laps in this level in 1 sitting. The timer doesn't reset. You have 3 minutes maximum to beat the entire level, and if the timer hits 0, back to square 1. At last, upon saving NiGHTS, the 2 kids team up to duelize with NiGHTS one last time to fight Wise Man the Wicked. This fight is insanely easy. His first phase, just hope he doesn't camp you with a fireball, and you're good. His second phase, just dodge the rocks, and you're good. The third phase, just dodge the snowballs, and you're good due to them being an easier and slower fireball attack. Final phase, the tornadoes are kind of bullshit though. You're expected to thread the needle so tightly in these little gaps to reach Wise Man, and half the time they just don't work. But at last, you reach him and kill him, ending the game for whichever side you choose. NiGHTS returns Clarisse and Elliot to the real world, with them now being fueled with courage. So, in 2025, what are my finalized opinions on NiGHTS Into Dreams? It's still a solid game. Sure, some mechanics are of their time, and some gameplay balancing is very much just bullshit, but the general gameplay is insanely fun and addicting. It has a very short runtime fully, so it's perfect for pick up and play, and best of all, it's an arcade-like score-based game, so just playing random levels over and over is how you're supposed to enjoy NiGHTS. Hell, this remaster even includes a demaster mode where you can play the game in 4x3 with the original models and textures and everything. It is a very, very fun game, and if you could somehow find a way to play this that doesn't involve spending a fortune on a Steam key, it is totally worth it. It is a fun blast, a fun archive of a forgotten time period of Sega history, and most importantly, it's a look into the creativity that Sonic Team is capable of when they decide to let the blue blur take a back seat for once. It's a genuinely magical game, not because of what it does or how it plays, but because of what it represents. Simply put, it's a game to give you courage and hope that even in your smallest, most doubtful moments of your life, there may be someone out there to help you, even if it's in your dreams, at the dead of night. Get it, like NiGHTS, get it, guys! Thank you all for watching my NiGHTS Into Dreams review. I'm aware this will probably not do as well as the more topical content, but it's a game that I deeply enjoy and wish to set some spotlight on. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thank you all for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and even share the video if you like to do that much. As always, I'll see you all in the next video.